17, 18, living in a van on the side of the road in some crazy places. My parents' divorce, I think, hit me pretty hard. Like, I don't want to mess her up. Like, I know how that feels, and I know what parents that are kind of doing the same stuff, like how that can mentally kind of mess up.
Welcome to the Rain from Within show. I'm Shane, your host. Everyone has a story, and most people carry scars that quietly shape who they become. This show is about sitting down one on one with real people and exploring the experiences that form them from the inside out. Today's guest is Liv. Liv grew up in Cali with a life that looked stable from the outside, but instability set in early. Her parents' divorce fractured her sense of safety and led her into years of searching through escape, a nomadic van lifestyle, toxic relationships, and substance abuse. Even after moving to Hawaii, her mental health reached its lowest point. Survival replaced her vision for herself. And everything changed in 2023 when Liv became pregnant. Motherhood forced a confrontation she could no longer avoid with her habits and health and overall her identity. This convo, we're going to talk about escape versus responsibility, go over addictions, some abusive patterns, and what it means to step into self leadership as a single mother. This is a very powerful story about moving from survival to purpose and taking responsibility. Liv's a beast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it. If you want to become the next success story as well on the show, head to strength.com/athlete to learn more. I hope you enjoy. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy the show. You're everywhere, dude. You're doing very well. We have these leaderboards for the brand of how people are performing, and you're like top 10. Seriously.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but let that get over your head because it's
No.
yeah. You just joined us what, a month ago,
Yeah, it's only been a couple of weeks.
and you got that sick hoodie. You like that?
Oh, yeah. I thought I ordered the gray one. I
Oh
don't know if
yeah.
this
Sorry.
one.
Don't worry, I got you on that. I don't know if you reached out to me or the Strength Instagram, but we're gonna take care of that because I did see that, so don't worry.
Okay.
But that looks great.
Yeah, I thought I have to represent today, so I put it on anyway.
Yes. So
Yeah.
we have quite a bit to unpack,
Yeah.
but to start out, growing up, you looked like you had a balanced, good life from the outside, you said. But when did things start feeling a little bit unstable on the inside?
Pretty young, honestly. I was just thrown into a lot of situations that I was forced to grow up really quickly. My parents' divorce, I think, hit me pretty hard. And so, like, moving in between living with my mom and my dad. And then there were times where I didn't speak to either one of them. Like, I didn't talk to
Mm,
my mom for a couple years. And so just being like a young girl, like I have no idea like who I was, who I wanted to be, and not really having that like support
yeah.
necessarily, I was just
Hmm.
kind of lost. And yeah, it just led me to some interesting places for sure.
Definitely hear you. Yeah, the
Yeah.
parents' divorce, it definitely shaped the way that you might have looked at, safety and or relationships and even yourself. So
Mhm.
you said that you were searching for belonging as well, and just kind of who you were before you had the words for it. So, what do you feel like you were searching for back then? And just for reference, this is before school and like, before we get into dropping out of school and such. So, that
Yeah.
time period.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with religion, honestly. I was born into a very religious family, and like we had to go to church, and being born into that, it's kind of the only thing you're like supposed to know.
Mm,
Like this is what you're supposed to believe, and anything else is just kind of like out of the picture.
yeah.
And that was really confusing for me because I mean, I don't know. I think my journey with religion and spirituality has really progressed. But when I was younger, it was hard for me to completely believe everything that I was hearing or reading the
Mm,
Bible. And like, I didn't really know. It was just something people were telling me to believe. And I didn't really feel that way. So my relationship with God and everything was just kind of seemed maybe superficial and a little bit fake, and it just looked that way from the outside, but I don't think I really believed it then, you know.
I,
So
yeah.
that created a lot of like longing for like answers and not knowing what direction to go or like what to believe.
That makes perfect sense, and I really resonate with it. I grew up Catholic. My parents had me get confirmed in the communion before that, and I had to go every Wednesday. And all my friends were Lutheran, so I resented going. All my close friends, no offense to anybody I went to church with growing up, but they weren't my best friends, and I didn't like that at all because when it's forced, it's not as fun. You want to
Yeah.
learn on your own terms. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand where you're coming from. With once school was going on, you decided you were going to drop out and travel in a van. That you got to walk me through that. Like, that sounds insane, dude. Like it sounds very freeing to I think a lot of people. But what was the
Yeah.
part of that life most people like they romanticize that was actually one of the harder parts?
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
I, you know, like 17, 18, um, living in a van on the side of the road in some crazy places like Northern California up into Oregon. I'm alone, and
Yeah.
I was using substances at that time. I kind of started drinking super young. I was smoking pot super young.
Mm,
And that definitely alters like a young mind for sure. And,
yeah.
so I think I was really in this kind of confusion of like I want to find myself and I'm just going to do everything that I think is fun and not really care about like safety or think logically about
Mm,
things because I'm just free and no one can tell me anything. Like, I just had that kind of free bird spirit, and I still am like that, don't get me wrong. Like
mm.
I love traveling. Um but it was really interesting kind of just jumping into that lifestyle, and ended up with just like bad situations, scary situations that I wish I had a little more guidance in not being there, you know.
Absolutely. So you mentioned you were doing substances, pot, drinking. What point did you feel drinking stopped becoming social and it started becoming a little bit of a coping mechanism?
I um yeah, I started drinking pretty young. Like some of my memories are like 13, 14, going to the dock, drinking with my friends, and like
Mm,
that was pretty social. But I mean, my whole family, I kind of come from a line of partiers and drinkers,
okay.
and so I've always been around it. And then when it started kind of taking a turn, for me, it was like the staying up and drinking alone, like drinking
Mm,
alone, drinking by myself. I did good in school, like before, and then, me and my friends, hey, you got a water bottle and vodka, like let's go to the bathroom, and that just kind of became like the pattern. I'd rather be drinking and having fun than actually taking care of what I needed to.
yeah.
And then it just progressed. Like it just kept getting worse.
Okay.
Um, so kind of it started really young and it just carried with me until pretty recent, honestly.
So you mentioned that toxic and abusive relationships around you as well were starting to become normal for you. Why do you think that those patterns kind of felt familiar at the time? And can you walk me through that a little bit?
Yeah, I joke with myself like then I have a bad picker, I picked the wrong friends, I picked the wrong
Mm,
relationships. I think it comes from a lack of safety, like emotionally from being a kid. I didn't
mm,
know any different.
yeah,
And those things definitely stick with you. So patterns are comfortable um
yeah.
and also like it really was my younger years, like the substance was kind of taking control of things. And I was always the life of the party. I was always meeting friends just to be partying with them, or
Mm,
relationships. It was like, cool, let's go and drink and do everything and go camping, hiking, but we're drinking. It just, so I feel like
yeah.
I never really had like a healthy relationship that was not influenced by substance at all. So I think that creates a lot of its own confusion, and
Yeah.
stability.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think back to college and how worldly I was. Just I was so detached from who I was before college when I started drinking that when you're doing that, when you're smoking every day and you're around people that all they want to do is party, it's hard to get out of that. You're kind of sucked into that whole scene, and especially for you starting it a little bit younger than the average Joe, I totally understand how that could be a big, maybe identity shift eventually too. So you moved to Hawaii,
I
right?
did. And yeah, so I ended up getting a van and I traveled up California into Oregon. And then from Oregon, I moved to Hawaii. And I was there for like 8 months. So a short time, but it was something I like manifested. I love to surf and I love the beach.
Oh,
And that was just always since I was a kid. I knew, I had all the little
dude.
Hawaii posters in my room, and like I'm going to Hawaii. And so finally getting the opportunity to go, looking back on it, I'm so grateful for that. But it was really gnarly. It was a really hard time.
Okay. Yeah. So Hawaii, yeah, you changed locations, but it didn't always change the internal battle you're dealing with. You actually found out that you were pregnant. Was that when you were in Hawaii?
No, so I came back from Hawaii and I just couldn't really get a grip on like my drinking. I didn't really have I didn't see the value in my life necessarily.
Mm.
And sorry, it's so emotional.
No, no, this is your story.
Yeah. It's just like crazy to look back. And see like the way my thoughts and the way my actions were compared to what they are now. Like there's some serious growth, and I'm so proud that I made it this far. Because there were times where like I didn't feel like I was going to, and I got super sick from drinking.
Wow.
And yeah, so 2023, I found out I was pregnant and I was terrified, obviously, because like I'm just a party girl. Like I was thinking, like, how am I gonna handle this? And do I even want to do this? Like it was really kind of conflicting.
Mm.
Uh, but I'm so grateful that she's the best thing, and it really did save my life.
Oh, yes. It was like the ultimate wake up call.
Yeah,
Everything happens for a
definitely.
reason, and yeah, at the time, it probably felt like a responsibility that you're like, how is this gonna work?
Well,
How,
yeah, it's like I didn't even have a home at the time, I was
yeah,
couch surfing. I had little money. I was still trying to figure out like what I want to do other than drink all day. And so
yeah.
that switch was just really gnarly. And I've come a long way. I've come a long way.
Was there a specific moment when you realized, "Yeah, I can't keep living like this, or was it a slow build up?
Well, I think, you know, every morning that you wake up that hungover and like you feel awful, you kind of have that thought of like, oh my God, like
I'm
I
never
want it
drinking
to
again.
stop. I'm never drinking again. And then you end up drinking the same day, like, you
Yeah,
know.
been there.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so actually, it's pretty recent, almost a year ago. So my daughter was born. I ended up getting stepped on by a horse and broke my foot.
Wow.
Um, and I was in denial for like a couple weeks, just like, no way, this just happened, like, how am I supposed to work? And now I'm on crutches and I have to take care of my daughter. And like, it was just a lot mentally.
Yeah.
And then, you know, injuries, it comes with like prescription drugs and
Mm.
stuff. And that got a little rough for me, honestly.
Mm.
And like, I want to be super raw about it because that was the moment. And it was just like a wake up call to, like, I have to change because, one, it's not just me now. And I have a whole human to take care of that deserves the world. And I want to give her everything better than what I had. She's going to be so much better of a person and knows
Mm.
so much. And it was just realizing that, one, the party scene, all of that fun stuff, one, is so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, it really is so damaging to your body, and I want to be around for her. And secondly, like, it'll never leave. So like, why is there such like a tight grip on, like, I need this to be my life when there's so many other opportunities and healthy ways to go about life. And so I don't know, that, like, the whole prescription stuff, and I was drinking, it just got really scary. And I remember having a moment just like sitting there and thinking about her and just realizing that, like, if I don't change, um like, I don't want to mess her up. Like, I know how that feels, and I know what parents that are kind of doing the same stuff, like, how that can mentally kind of mess up your life. And I
Yeah.
don't know, she's just the best thing ever, and I want to change. And I put my foot down on it, and now the growth from even a year ago until right now is just insane to me.
Dude,
Like, I feel like I'm a
yeah.
whole different person.
Yeah. And because I didn't know anything about this, of your origin story, until, we had you come on the pod now. And it's so powerful. I met you a month ago. You just found out about strength pretty recently through your
Yeah.
friend Madison, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool. So I think Madison found us on TikTok, and then she told you about it.
Yeah, so that's actually a really funny story because I had met Madison, I think, 3 days before I messaged you. And I
What?
met her. Yeah, one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, I have a group of friends. Like, I want to introduce you to them." Because I had just moved back. I just got out of a relationship, and so I'm trying to, like, have a life again and make
Yeah.
friends and all that stuff. So I show up. Me and Madison click right away. I'm like, oh my god, I finally found a friend who's like with it,
Yeah, in
And she's
alignment.
doing this 28-day art challenge. Like, if you want to do it, like, let me know. And at first I was like, oh, like, that's cool, like, good for you, but nah, like, whatever. And then it was 2 or 3 days later, I texted her and I said, like, let me, like, how do I start? Tell me what to do. And it just was like that inspiration of, like, you know what? Maybe there's a reason that I met her. There's a reason this just, like, fell into my lap. And thank God I took that. And thank God I messaged you
Go.
guys, because it's been life changing. It really has been.
Thank you so much for taking a chance on yourself and putting yourself out there to meet Madison, and then shooting us the message, because timing's everything. We just launched the 28 Arc Challenge this past month. It's so new. This podcast just started this past month. We got a lot of really good things rolling, and now I'm starting to say this on every single podcast, but your vibe attracts your tribe. And so you were in alignment. You met Madison, and she was already aligned with us and joined us. And I don't believe any of that happens by accident. I think you meet people who come into your life based on where you're at and when you need to meet them. So, because we've been a brand for 7 years, but you just found out about us this past month because you put
Yeah.
yourself out there for Madison and then you started the challenge. And you're somebody that's so fun because you always tag me. You post every day, not only inside of the app for the 28 arc, but you post in your story. So other people are finding out about it probably through you. Have you had anybody reach out to you yet and ask, like, hey, what is that?
Yeah, I actually have some friends lined up to kind of have a little meeting and
Let's
see like if
go.
it's something I want to go. So there's definitely things in the works, and
Cool.
the message, excuse me, oh my God, the message is so powerful that I feel genuinely called to share it. It's not
Let's
just
go.
because I've done, there's so many companies that it's like, hey, like buy stuff and you'll get a discount code and refer your friends and yada yada yada, or like buy this $500 thing for the month and then you'll get a code or whatever.
Right.
And like that's all fun, but something about this program and all the athletes and everyone that's involved, and your story in particular, it's so powerful.
Let's
And I
go.
think it takes a certain person to feel the power of it, because I mean, everyone perceives things so differently, I think, but when you genuinely know, like, the hardships and everything that you've gone through and how to fuel that for something good and not let it destroy your life, because it could easily go both ways. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone in the group chats and in the team, like we all have that same understanding of like life had to change. Now we have a community, and now like the sky is the limit. Let's go. Like let's
Yeah.
push it. And it's just it's amazing. It really is just the best community.
Thank you for being a part of it. You messaged me one of the first days you started the book, and I think you said something along the lines of like you started crying a little bit at the first chapter or two. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was
Cause
like 4 in the morning, I remember, because
yeah,
I'll start my day early, meditate first thing in the morning. I'll do a little bit of reading. And it was like the first couple pages, and I'm sitting there absolutely bawling. And I start laughing at myself, like, wow, this book really got me.
let's
And
go.
so I texted you that message just because, like, what you said, when you're in alignment with things, I think, well, for me at least, it feels like the right things just literally slap me in the face sometimes. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, you need to change, here's your answer. And I feel that way with Madison, with you, with the book, with all the athletes I've met so far.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like giving me that drive, like that motivation, that fire is so strong right now that I found my home. Like I
Yeah,
really did. It's like I've been searching for this, I guess, and I had no idea. But now that I'm here, everything is falling into alignment,
oh,
and the mental, like my physical, everything is just on the uprise, and I'm so excited to keep going with you guys.
dude, you're a pleasure to have a part of the community. And we used to have it a lot more gatekeep to be a part of it. And I don't know, we've just changed a lot of things logistically. And I was always used to be focused on how the house looks on the outside. I didn't focus on the internal. But when I got back from from Florida to Wisconsin, the last 6 months, it's just been exponential, only focus on providing as much value as we can, like with the podcast and the challenge and everything you see in the app and the community. I'm really proud of what we're doing. And yes, I'm glad that you got a good first impression because we got people from like 3 or 4 years ago that have been coming back recently because I was like, okay, these people, they left before because I was too focused on what people saw on the outside. I wasn't focused on the inside. And now only focus on the inside, and the people on the inside tell people about it from the outside. And we have the podcast, and it's just awesome. It's I feel really happy with what's going on. And so let's talk a little bit more about your daughter. So when your daughter is older, because she's 2 years old, you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When she's older and she asks about your story, Liv, what do you hope she understands about the woman that you became?
Oh.
It's pretty deep.
Oh, that's a good one. Man, I'm so excited for those moments, I think, because I think the message, oh, I'm gonna cry again.
Hey,
Message, I want her to know that, like, no matter how hard, no matter, no matter the struggles that you have to face every single day, getting right with yourself, believing in yourself, and realizing your mom loves you so much. Like, I'm gonna do everything for her that I possibly can, but to show her that support, like she really is. Oh, I don't even know if I have the right words. I want her to know that anything is possible for
yeah,
her.
truly.
Anything is possible for her, and things are gonna get hard. Life is not pretty, and if you're only focused on what people see from the outside, you're gonna be miserable. One, like you know the it's you don't need to play this movie, and things are not gonna be perfect, but just keep
Mm,
pushing, and
yes.
it'll be really interesting to see.
Dude, let's go. Well, you're leading by example. I hope that we can continue to be a great community for you. And like you said, this is your home. Like we want Strength to be a 100-year brand. We want to be around a long time. And it's based on the relationships that we get to build and the stories that we get to share. So you've become hopefully a big fan of the book, which I appreciate a lot. And
Yeah,
now,
that's fun.
yeah, and I realized how easy it was for me to because the book wasn't that hard to write. It just took a really long time. It was like 3 months of writing, over 300 plus hours. But if I could tell my story, anybody can tell theirs too. And dude, we have such a unique group of people like yourself, Liv, that other people in the audience need to hear these kind of stories. What do you want to leave the audience with on your story as of right now? Who's Liv going to become these next few years and beyond? Um, what would you want to say to younger Liv, actually?
Younger Liv, I I just want to tell her that she's so loved, and and you have no idea the journey you're about to go on. And it's going to be really fun, and you know, I think what I want to leave the audience with, or younger viewers, other moms, young moms, um, just don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. And just keep grinding, lock in, honestly. Like those
Yeah,
things, like it really does help. Find something that you genuinely enjoy that brings your soul fulfillment. It doesn't matter if people are telling you to like a certain thing. Do what is best for you, do what you love to do, and just be positive. Being happy is a choice. That's also a big thing that I've learned. Wake up every day and choose to be happy.
that's true.
And, I think taking those actions and kind of switching your mindset, it really does open a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. And then the people you're around too. So a lot of people, they don't know what they don't know until they find out. And you found the community. I'm so grateful that we got to find you and we get to share your story. Where can they find you on socials, Liv?
I'm on Instagram at live.fit, and I'm on TikTok as well. I think that one's Livy Lee, so I'll have it in my Instagram though. That's probably the easiest way to find me.
Perfect. Let's go. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like the episode, subscribe for more. Make sure you're following us, Spotify, Apple Pod. Follow Liv. She's a beast. Join strength.com/athlete for info. And share this with somebody who needs to hear it. A super powerful story. Liv, you're a beast. And I look forward to everything to come. Appreciate you guys. Let's go.